Hello, everybody, and welcome to the iRacing OCRP League here at Talladega. We're getting ready to finish up qualifying here, and we'll see where everybody shakes out. Joe, what do you think? It's anybody's game, isn't it? It's Talladega. Okay, well, we're waiting on Joe. He's not in the booth right now, but I am. And, yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about, is that it is anybody's game when you come to a wildcard track like Talladega. We have been pretty much away for the past couple weeks due to things that I was out of my control. We could not broadcast the races, one at Eldora and then the one at Gateway. But those races did actually take place, and we are now the second to last race of the season.
Yes, we are.
So that's a big deal to a lot of these guys. This is a time for them to get out there and try to make something happen.
You know, Jeff, it helps with your microphone. I've learned if you plug it in. just 101, basic stuff here. If you want to stream, plug in the microphone. You know, it's because Andrew's not here tonight. It's because we don't have Andrew tonight. Yeah, we don't have Jeremy. He is not going to be here in the pits. It's just us right now. 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining here in qualifying before we get out on the track and we go door to door. Basically a giant parking lot, or pretty much what you would see on the freeway at about 200 miles per hour. But they're in the truck, so we're doing about 180, 190. Yeah, absolutely. And what I was trying to say when my microphone is unplugged is that Talladega is a great equalizer. Literally, you can show up with any gear, and as long as you stay in the draft, as long as you're able to keep up to the truck in front of you, you've got a chance to win it tonight. 60 laps means there's not a lot of time here at Talladega to really play the chess game as we've seen at other tracks. You don't have the real estate. Here, it's about putting the hammer down, turning left as hard as you can, and digging as hard as you can for that win. Tonight is literally anybody's night. And if I know this crew, they're all looking at one driver. Wes the Mess, driver of the number 88 Chevrolet. He's going to have a big target on his back tonight. Oh, absolutely. And some names that just showed up out of nowhere. One is Tyler Lightsey. We saw him race early in the beginning of the season and wasn't able to make some races this season. However, he is here tonight, and he is one to watch. He's a really good plate racer. And it's going to be interesting to see him power his way to the front. We'll get your grid here in a few moments once we get things gridded. But we're going to talk a little bit more about the draft. And we saw a lot of what it has to offer at Daytona earlier on in the season. However, this is a different track. This is a much bigger track, more room. It's very wide. So it's going to be interesting. I think that it's going to be more forgiving than what we saw at Daytona. Oh, absolutely. It's going to be more forgiving because it's bigger. It's a much longer track, 2.66 miles. It's just bigger than Daytona. Absolutely. And number two, it's wider. There are more racing surface here than there is at Daytona. You can run 3 wide. Heck, if you want it on the front stretch, you can go 4 wide if you need to. If that's what you need to do, and it will not surprise me tonight, is if after that first lap, once you get the heat in these tires, we're going to see 3 lines of racing all night long. Yes, we will. Track temperature 77 degrees here at Talladega. And like Joe said, 2.65 miles around this gigantic track. It's going to be really, really, really interesting. Let's look at our race summary right now. 61 laps around this place tonight. Actually, 60 laps. I'm sorry. We have 1 lap for pacing. So 60 laps around Talladega. And I think we're going to see a heck of a show. It's going to come down to guys that are utilizing the draft correctly and even the side draft. Side draft's going to be in play. Multi-lane draft's going to be in play. So like I said, as soon as we get the heat in these tires, it's going to be 3-line racing the entire night. And with only 12 drivers on the track, that's like 4. That's 4 in every lane. You're going to have a lot of incredible racing tonight, a lot of insane racing tonight, Jeff. Buckle in. This is going to be the night to watch. This is going to be interesting to see for sure. And looking at the new crowd, look at that. We got a 3D crowd now here at the tracks.
since iRacing's been making these new updates to everything. So we no longer have the cardboard cutouts in the stands, I'm noticing.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, and you do see the full representation there of all kinds of different fans. So I do appreciate the guy in the iRacing cutoff. That's very Florida man, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know all about the Florida man from seeing those Daytona races for sure. I'm gonna get some things taken care of here. We've been having some issues with the microphones on the track side, and we'll make sure those aren't blowing anybody's eardrums off. Let's go through the grid, Joe.
While Jeff does that, let's go straight through the grid. On the pole, no surprise, your regular season champion, driver of the number 88 Chevrolet, Wes Graham, with a qualifying time of 55.039 seconds. Just under him on the outside of row number 1 will be the 87, the Monster Energy Chevrolet of Charles Gray. John Borst in the 71 Extra Life Chevrolet. He will start position number 3. Tony Wilson will start position number 4. Alexander Reno, Star Aviator Alex, as you know him, starts in the inside of row number 3. Robert Kellett will be on the outside in a brand new number 4 Toyota, I believe it was Smart Foods Toyota paint scheme. Josh Jones on the inside of row number 7, and Steve Ryan Stewart will start position number 8 on the outside of row number 4. Eric O'Neill, Francisco Rodriguez Martinez in row number 5. Tyler Lugo Vickery and Eric Beaver and Eric Beaver will start in row number 6, and rounding out the field in the Police Chevrolet, Tyler Lightsey did not take qualifying time, but he's going to try to go out there and have a little fun anyways, Jeff.
Not too much further. They're down in turn number 3 right now, getting ready to go green flag racing here. And what do you think's the strategy here? I like the new colors of the 4 truck, by the way, and I'm liking what we saw with Charles Gray in practice. However, what do you think what we're gonna see right away? You think we're gonna see some pretty good battles, or you think everybody's gonna get into a single file line?
This track is too wide to go single file. These guys are going to run two lines all the way through to get the heat in the tires, and then once they've got that, once they're confident in their trucks, expect this place to go straight to bedlam. The first racing Ford Mustang down on pit road, and this field is now in command of Wes the Mess.
Wes is going to lead him up to the line. Remember, it's a long way around this D-shaped tri-oval, as the start-finish line is past the tri-oval. And the restart zone is going to be starting about right here. Green flag in the air. Let's go racing at Talladega.
No surprises. Wes Graham gets the big jump. He is going to start, and he's going to lead them into turn number 1 and 2. Charles Gray ducks it behind him. Tony Wilson in there as well, trying to figure out what line he wants to run. 2 lines now, starting at the truck of Robert Keller and John Borst.
Everybody trying to find a position that they want here. Early on in the race, looks like everybody's going to stick to the bottom lane for the most part, and only a few trucks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to be fighting on the outside.
2 lines, as we called it. We're going into turns number 3 and 4 now, and it looks like the outside line might be getting a bit of a run there. The outside line led by the number 4 truck of Robert Keller. That Toyota wants to lead, but he might get cut off by Wes the Mess going into the tri-oval.
And what we're seeing here right now is these are guys that started in the middle, and they want to get to the front. You want to get to the front. You do not want to get caught up in one of those wrecks by being in the back. But sometimes it's okay to be in the back, especially the very back. Then you can kind of control whether or not you have more time to react in case the big one happens right in front of you. But these guys are a little impatient in the very beginning, and I have absolutely I trust what they're doing.
You're absolutely right, Jeff. The worst place to be is right there in the middle, right there where Alex Reno is, right there where John Borst is and company, right there with that 97 machine of Aaron Beaver. I love that OCRP scheme on that Chevrolet. This is a danger zone right here, because if something happens, one of these cars, or trucks I should say, go sideways, they're going to take a whole mess of trucks with them. And if 13 drivers take the green flag tonight, you can't afford that. You really need those drafting partners, and you need them to get around this track as quick as possible.
Wow, the 87 of Charles Gray. Going to apologize really quickly. We're going to be trying to fix our microphone issues we have on the track, so just bear with us as we try to get these in line, and we'll have some graphics on the screen at the moment right now. But, man, what a great battle we got. It looked like Robert Kellett was going to have a little bit of something there, but it comes down to more trucks equal a better draft, and that's what we're seeing.
Oh, absolutely it does. The more trucks you have in the group and you have them in the zone, those are the ones, you guys, you want their help. You need their help if you're going to get to the front. And it looks like we almost had an incident in the back as they try to go 3 wide. That's going to be around Josh Jones, Tyler Lightsey and company. They're trying to form a third line, Jeff. Yeah,
it looks like they almost went 4 wide from this angle, but I think that it's just a matter of Eric O'Neill. They're stuck in the middle and nowhere to go at all. I got to say, I don't think that it's time this early on to be doing that type of racing.
Absolutely not. Now is not the time to do that. Now is not the time to take that risk. Right now, you just want to run in line. You want to figure out where everyone else is going, and you want to go with the flow. If you mess up the aerodynamics on that truck, you're going to be running very lonely by yourself at the very tail end of this group. And guess what? That only means one thing. If you're not on the draft, if you're not in the group, you're going to go down in laps very, very, very quickly.
Yeah, and I'm watching right back here. Ryan Stewart in the 12 is not giving up, and the caution flies early on. Let's try to figure out what happened.
It's going to involve the 57 of Tyler Lightsey. It looks like he might have involved another truck with him. That's going to look like, I believe, the 97 and 3 machines all involved. That's going to be Tyler Lightsey, Tyler Lugo Vickery all involved in that one. It looks like hard racing between the two of them. They're going to need a quick fix in a hurry on those trucks.
Yeah, watching to see what happened here with Lightsey. Looks like there was just not enough room with Beaver there, and Josh Jones gets collected as well. He went around, and Tyler Lightsey was on the brakes. He held on. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage on that 57 truck as he tries to get that back underway. But we're going to back it up again, and we're going to try to figure out what happened to the other guys that were involved. That's the 3 of Josh Jones and also Aaron Beaver in the 97.
First caution flag out for the evening on lap number 5. I didn't really expect the caution to come out so early tonight for these guys. I figured they'd be running around a little bit harder, but Rubbin's racing, Jeff, and these guys know very quickly that 60 laps are going to go in a hurry here at Talladega.
No, 100%. Now, the thing is, I was telling you that earlier, we saw those guys racing that hard in the back, and you just don't want to do that this early on in the race. You have 60 laps. I know, folks, that sounds like it's not a lot of racing time, but it really is. This is a huge track. 60 laps takes a long time to get around us. And whenever you're under yellow, it's really frustrating as a driver because it's so big here. And you have to sit there at a very, very slow pace. And those are long laps that you're not driving under green. And it does get to you after a while. So I think we're going to see a lot of green flag racing tonight. I just think this was a product of racing too hard too early.
Meanwhile, down on pit road, they're about to get a little bit busy as Wes Graham leads them down. Charles Gray, Rob Kellett, Tony Wilson, Ryan Stewart, Francisco Rodriguez, Martinez, John Borst, Eric O'Neill, all coming to the attention of their crews. Jeff, tonight, it's not about tires, it's about fuel. But who's going to try to take the 4 anyways?
Absolutely. And Charles Gray seemed to be the first one off in Borst, but I think they stayed out.
I believe they stayed out as well. Looking back at the pit stops, Graham, Kellett, Alexander Reno, a lot of those guys did take 4 tires because, as long as you're there, as long as it takes to fill up the truck, you might as well get 4 fresh tires anyways. Charles Gray, John Borst, they took the risk. They did not come down pit road. But as we talked about, tires really don't matter here because it's not a rough track. You're not doing a lot of aggressive steering, a lot of aggressive braking. It's very smooth on those tires. So I've got a feeling that Borst and Gray, they may not come down until they're forced to.
Yeah, and I agree with that call of staying out. I think that there's no reason to really come down unless you wanted to make an adjustment. And these guys are using a fixed setup, so I don't see any adjustments really happening there. So I don't agree with coming down pit road this early on for new tires, but that's the name of the game. In sim racing, sometimes you'll see guys do that way more often than not. But I don't know what's going on. Everybody's going around Gray right now. We're trying to figure out what's happening here.
Yeah, not sure if he got a penalty. I'm not seeing anything from race control, so not sure what's going on with the Monster Energy Chevrolet of Charles Gray.
Yeah, and that's going to put John Borst there in the front, and I think that's exactly what he wanted. You know, it comes down to making that decision. Do you want to come down pit road or you want to stay out? It's all about track position. You want clean air? There's no better place to be than in front of everybody else. And then on top of that, you're not going to be involved in a crash unless second place takes you out.
That is very true. The safest place to be on the track at Talladega is position number 1. The good news is for these drivers that they've got a lot of opportunity to stay out there. They've got a lot of opportunity to do some good racing as long as the draft allows. The bad news is, with only 60 laps, this is a very quick race. It's a fast race here at Talladega Superspeedway, so these guys know that there's no room for error at this point. If you want to win, you got to be position number 1. And it doesn't matter. If you're not first, Jeff, you're last.
Yeah, and I'm thinking Borst was the only one that stayed out, perhaps, and that was Gray that came down and sped on pit road and got an EOL penalty out of that.
I'm going to go back and check the tape on that, but that makes the most logical sense.
Yeah, I was too busy checking the replays out of that crash, and I did not get to see who all came down pit road, but it looked like it was pretty much everybody on pit road except for the 71.
Gray did come down. Gray did take 2 tires, so we're going to assume he had some sort of penalty on pit road.
All right,
as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. So as it stands right now, when we go back to green flag racing, is Borst going to come down pit road? Borst is going way down. He might be trying to save some fuel there.
I think that Borst is just bored on a play track under caution.
Fair enough.
We see this quite often. You don't see this in the real world so much, but in the sim racing community, you will see guys get bored, drive way down. Sometimes, you know, if you're at like Indianapolis or Homestead, they'll take the service road just to mess around or even get really close to the pace car. And I think that's what we're seeing. I don't think the 71 has any plans to come down.
No, I don't think so. I think he was just trying to kill some time out there in the Extra Life 71 Chevrolet Silverado. So here's where we stand. When we go back to green flag racing, should be another lap when we cross the start-finish line on the far end of that tri-oval. John Borst will lead them down. He's the only one who did not come down for tires and fuel that time by, but he will inherit the lead. Wes Graham will be in second. Robert Keller, Alexander Reno, Francisco Rodriguez Martinez, the big climber out there. He will restart position number 5. Steve Ryan, Ryan Stewart in 6th. Eric O'Neill in 7th, Tony Wilson 8th, Josh Jones 9th, and Tyler Lightsleep rounds out the top 10. Charles Gray will be 11th, Tyler Lugo Vickery in 12th, and Aaron Beavers shown 1 lap down right now, restarts position 13.
We haven't talked a lot about those guys. Let's talk about Tyler Lugo Vickery. Starting off a couple races ago, I saw him showing up, and now we're seeing him pretty much being a constant face here in the league. So not sure. I don't think he made it to Daytona initially, but it's good to see him out here. We always, encourage participation, and seeing new drivers out. It's always a great thing.
Always a great thing, and that's the cool thing about OCRP is it's a community in so many different ways. You have the OCRP roleplay server. You have the OCRP iRacing League. You've got guys connecting across different ideas and different verticals, and that's what really makes this group so much fun. It's not just a roleplay server. It is so much more, and these guys work very hard to make it a real community for everyone involved.
Another new face is Francisco Rodriguez Martinez. Saw him a few races ago make his debut, and he's out here getting it done. Currently, right now in 5th, and he started 10th, so that's pretty common for being at a play track.
There's a lot of room to move forward and back, and I think there is strategy involved, believe it or not. One of the big strategies here is where do you want to be when everything's happening. A lot of guys prefer the front, a lot of guys prefer the back, only because when the big one happens, and it will, trust me, it'll happen, they do not want to be caught up in that absolute storm that's going to take out 2, 3, 4 trucks as a result of that. You definitely want to be in a position where you can avoid it, you can get around it, or if you're in front, as John Borst is right now, he doesn't even have to be involved in it.
No, and another driver, one to watch here that we've seen, come up through the ranks of the original season in the K&N Pro Car, then moving into the Truck Series, and has really found his footing in iRacing, has been the 22 of Alex Reno. Just incredible job moving up, learning. He's a driver that is known for being very respectful to everybody else out on the track, and he doesn't make a whole lot of bonehead moves or aggressive moves. However, he has practiced his racecraft, and here he is right now in 4th.
Aviator Alex, you know, he's known for his aviation work, but obviously he's having a lot of fun in the iRacing League. He's grown a lot as a driver. He's grown a lot in his opportunities, and it's always exciting to see new drivers come up through the ranks and are able to really compete. And again, Talladega is the great equalizer. Everyone can compete at Talladega. It doesn't matter what you bring. If you stay in the draft, you can win. Heck, a guy named, let me wrong, Keselowski, I believe, had some subpar equipment with the group called Phoenix.
Yeah.
Did he end up winning this track?
I believe so.
I believe so. So really, anyone, you know, this is anyone's race. Anyone can win it. All you got to do is stay clean, stay in the draft, and charge at the when it counts to pick up the checkered flag here at Talladega Superspeedway in the heart of Alabama.
And we're talking about how it's anybody's race, and I mean, it really could be anybody's race. Even, you know, drivers that have struggled this season, like the 3 truck of Josh Jones, he's one to keep an eye on, because it is anybody's, you know, basically you have a chance. I won't say it's anybody's race. You have a chance. If you keep your nose clean, you're respectful to the other drivers out there, and you get a friend, you can go to the front.
That is true. It's all about making deals, making friends out there, and being able to figure out how to get out front and get that big win. So John Boris will restart on the outside when they go back to green flag racing in just a few moments. Wes Graham will be on his inside in position number 2. Row number 2 will be Robert Keller, Alex Torino, Francisco Rodriguez Martinez. Restart position number 5, Ryan Stewart in 6. Eric O'Neill, Tony Wilson will round out row number 4. Row number 5 belongs to Josh Jones and Tyler Lugo Victory. At the very end of the field will be Charles Lacey, Charles Gray, and Aaron Beaver as we get ready to go back to green flag racing.
When we take the green flag here, it will be 51 laps remaining, and we've only had 2 lead changes so far. And I think we might see something else happen here. And Wes has got a nice group of trucks behind him, including the guys that you know, were had to go to the back of the pack, and that's a longer line of trucks, and that's what counts in plate racing, is having a large group of single file trucks. Green flag in the air at Talladega.
Green flag.
John Force wastes no time getting on the loud pedal. He is going to drag along Alex Reno and company along with him. Wes Graham looks like he just got a very slow start when they dropped the green flag. So look at that. Force will take a big lead coming off the restart. Reno in 2nd, Ryan Stewart now in 3rd.
And that's not what you want to do. This isn't the type of track you want to just jump away on a restart at. When they come back in a huge line, they're going to have so much momentum to get by you. And we're starting to see that happen right now with Ryan Stewart in the 12 truck, and he's got help from the 88.
Ryan Stewart just picks up the fast lane, and he will take the lead.
He takes
it. 3 and 4. Wes Graham now on his outside is who is going to win the drag race through the tri-oval. Wes Graham's got a ton of steam behind him, and he will take the lead. That is our 4th lead change, I believe, as Wes Graham officially credited as your leader. But there comes Tyler Lugo Vickery.
On the outside, all by himself, a little bit of side drafting action happening there, and I'm keeping my eye out on the 4 truck of Keller that shot right through the middle, and he's going to take the lead.
No win in the Full Sail University truck, so credit the number 4 of Robert Keller.
Whoa.
The smart food almost gets smart eaten on the track. He will continue to lead, but for how much longer? That's the question.
That is the question. The 12 truck of Stewart got in the back of the 4 truck just a little too hard on his bump draft and almost sent them around there.
Almost sent them around, but discretion is the better part of valor, and Keller able to save it. Looks like Stewart's going to give him a little bit more.
We got guys hitting pit road. We got the 22 truck of Reno and the 57 of Lightsey. I think this might be a strategy call.
Might be a strategy call. We'll continue to follow the 3-wide racing up front as now only 8 trucks on track now. 3 lanes of driving, and this benefits the 88 most.
The 88 all the way out front trying to utilize all lanes, but the bottom has the most trucks in a line. That doesn't seem to matter because Josh Jones on the outside helping out Tyler Vickery there, Ludo Vickery, and they're able to just hang on barely.
They are able to hang on, but again, all you have to do is have one dance partner here, and you can stay in the game all night long. Continue to score Checkered as your leader, but that middle lane starting to pick up a little bit of steam behind them. Don't know if they can make the pass this time. They're going to need some more trucks before they can make a big move.
They will, and I think that the 22 in the 57 of Lightsey coming down pit road was a smart move because if somebody had to, you got to have a dancing partner. You got to have a drafting help out here to even maintain a decent speed. But man, what an incredible opening to this race! 3 wide, constantly around the track.
I called it, Jeff. I told you they were going to be 3 wide the entire way around. Tyler Lightsey, Charles Gray, and Alfredo now just getting off pit road. They're going to be scored 1 lap down as your leaders continue to battle. The 88 of Wes Graham really wants that lead. He just doesn't have enough trucks behind him to get it.
Yeah, it looks like Wes Graham had the lead almost for a second there on the backstretch, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks now on the bottom lane. Well, looks like Beaver's he's gonna drop back down again. But here comes O'Neal to the middle, looking to get around the to get around the 96 of Francisco Rodriguez Martinez. He wasn't able to get it done, but we're watching this happen lap after lap. Watch the guys on the top. It's getting really squirrely up there.
Gotta get real squirrely, and this is the only advantage to having those tires on right now. You're getting more grip on that outside lane. You're able to stay up with them, and you're able to race with them. But with nobody behind him, the number that number 14 or 24 truck, is it?
Yes, 24.
24, yep. He's going to have to back off. He's going to have to join a line here because he's got no wind in that full
truck. The 12's around.
Caution is out.
The 96 is around. Big crash on the tri-oval right now. We're trying to stay with it here. Quite a few trucks involved. However, we've talked about this many, many times, Joe. There is fast repairs here in this. It's not the end of the world. I know these guys are going to start getting upset at each other, blaming each other. But you know what? I think that at this point, this early on in the race, it's just plate racing. Go down pit road, get your truck fixed, and get back out.
So this incident starts with the 37 of Eric O'Neal. He gets into that quarter panel. I don't know if the 96 came down or the 37 came up. Racing deal, plain and simple. He gets to the 96. 96 gets hooked, takes the 12 around for a ride, and then the 3 machine of Josh Jones once again gets involved. 4 trucks. Good news is they do have the quick repair. They will be able to get back on pit road. And even better news for Aaron Beaver and company is they may be able to get back on the lead lap depending on what the leaders do.
Watching here, yeah, looks like the 96 might have cleared himself right across the 37's nose, and he went down right into the 12. Ryan had nowhere to go, and now we find ourselves back under caution at Talladega.
So if you're looking for a time to grab a snack, maybe a beverage of some sort, this is the time to do it, guys, because we're going to be sitting here for quite a while. 2-minute laps around this track, but a lot of fun tonight. I'm seeing a lot of Talladega Nights references in chat right now, and well, of course you would see Talladega Nights references in chat.
No, absolutely. It's been one hell of a race. Starting off, I really didn't think that we would have as much 3-wide racing as we have had tonight, and also how long they were able to keep it. I mean, you have guys that, this is different than watching something like, Monster Energy Cup Series and all the ones you see on TV, the Gander Truck Series and stuff. Those are, great seasoned professionals driving race cars. And here you have a lot of rookies in this esport. So it's interesting to see how well they were able to keep it that long, because I'll tell you what, folks, I have done plenty of plate racing and iRacing. It is not easy.
We'll race off pit road. Wes Graham will come off first, John Force second, Robert Keller third, and I don't know if anyone took tires that time. I think a couple of those might have been fuel-only stops. No, the 4 was 4 tires. The 88, let's check back on him. He might have been 4 tires, but interesting that everyone's so conscious of their tires tonight.
Yeah,
this
very
is not a
conscious
track
of it.
It's not a track you associate with tire wear.
No, trying to see what's going on here with the 22. He is going to be a waiver on, I believe, but it doesn't show him a lap down. I'm not really sure what's going on with that.
He might have come around when the leaders were in, so he might have gotten his lap back that way if he stayed out. So again, these are 2-minute laps. A lot of things can happen on a pace lap.
Yeah, the 87 of Charles Gray and the 22 of Alex Reno are and also Lightsey. Those 3, they might have gotten trapped down a lap whenever. Remember, they came down pit road. They were a lap down, and now I think they're going to be shown on the lead lap once they get their wave around. And that worked out for them. You know, they came in, they did an early pit call, and I think what they're doing is they're going to come down, they're going to get their new tires, they're going to go ahead and, fill that thing up with fuel. You don't have to make another stop all night.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You can stay out regardless of what happens on track. If they have the fuel to run it all night long, as I'm looking at my notes right now, if you have the fuel to run all night long, with only 3/4 of a traditional fuel tank in there, yeah, you don't want to have to come down pit road unless you have to. So good strategy move on their part. Let's see if it pays off.
Back under caution. Once again, that was due to an incident that was involved in the 12 of Ryan Stewart. It was Eric O'Neill in the 37. And I believe the other one wasn't Aaron Beaver in the 97?
It was Francisco Rodriguez Martinez who was hooked as a result. And I'm actually being told, I'm just getting this in from our pit road sources, there may have been a cougar in the truck of the 96, which is what caused him to swerve. That's just the realization that the cougar was in the truck caused him to swerve and brought out the caution flag for the second time tonight.
Yeah, and I do apologize. We're getting used to the new drivers. These are guys that haven't been in the league the entire season. So the 96 is very close to the 97. I knew it was a 90-something that went around. But the 96 is a new one, and so is the 24. So we're just getting used to those guys being out here. I know everybody else out here, but I don't know why I can't compute that so fast.
Yeah, we've got a little ring rust on us, too. So there is that. You know, we had a lot of crazy stuff happen this year, like the hurricane and other things that happened. So, you know, we're a little rusty. Give us a second. We'll get back in it.
Absolutely. And since I got back into town, we did do some testing with the NASCAR Heat 4 online. And a lot of the league guys that you see here racing tonight, we all got together, and I will tell you what, I was very impressed with the online presence of that game. It was a lot of fun. So we've already talked about it, but there will be a NASCAR Heat 4 league that will be taking place coming up very soon, actually. And it's a different style of racing. You know, it's not as intense as iRacing, so more people can grasp it and can be competitive, and I think that's fantastic. And maybe they'll cut their teeth in that, get used to racing, and then jump into a virtual truck or a virtual race car.
So now you're telling me I have to go buy NASCAR Heat 4.
Well, if you want to race in it, I know I'm going to be racing in it, and we did it the other night, and it was it was a lot of fun, and I was very, very surprised at just how smooth it was, as far as latency goes with other drivers and stuff.
You know, I'm actually going to give a shout to 704 Games because I know they've been working very closely with NASCAR and the NASCAR teams to create a very realistic game that is easy to play and easy for anyone to jump in and create an esports, and not only that, but create an esports ready experience for those drivers. You know, they already have an esports racing league. You have teams like JTG Doherty. You have a Levine Family Gaming involved, all doing their part in the e-racing series. So I'm very excited to see how the build goes. I know they've been working very hard to make a very realistic build there. So 704 Games, you get to tip the hat on that one because I think NASCAR Racing 4 may be out of the box one of the best sims to come out to the mass market.
Been trying to get this in. Sorry to cut you off so quick, but Wes Graham, he came down pit road. It's over the 24 of Tyler Lugo Vickery. Not sure what happened there. Maybe they had a bad stop, and they're going to take advantage of being under yellow.
So as it's going to shake out, now that we have one more long lap left to go, John Borst will be once again your leader. Robert Kellert on his outside in position number 2. Tony Wilson, Josh Jones will start row number 2. Ryan Stewart, Eric O'Neill will start row number 3. Francisco Rodriguez Martinez and Aaron Beaver, row 4. Wes Graham's going to be relegated all the way back to row number 5, position number 9, in the inside of Tyler Lugo Vickery. Tyler Lightsey, Charles Gray, Alexander Reno will complete the field, and everyone back on the lead lap. So this is going to get really interesting. 13 cars ready to go green flag racing once we hit the start-finish line.
And I have a feeling it's going to be just as interesting as it was before. These guys have not been messing around tonight. This has been nonstop action here at Talladega, and with the season closing out, it comes down to points. You got to be aggressive. You got to stay in the front of the pack so you don't get caught up in wrecks, and I think that's what we're seeing.
But with Wes Graham having such a stranglehold on points right now, I think these guys are just out here trying to have a good time, trying to have fun in each of these trucks, and ultimately they just want to have a good time. They just want to figure out what to do to get a good run and finally finish in first place. The First Racing Ford Mustang pace car down on pit road, so John Borst will lead them to the green flag.
John Borst is the control truck, and man, this is a very, very long and excruciating time right here. Whenever you're just waiting for the green flag, you don't want to run into the guy in front of you. You're just holding off, looking off that peripheral vision on the left-hand side. That's what Robert Kellert's doing right with the 71. Green flag in the air at Talladega, and they're away.
Down and away, green flag for everybody in the field. John Borst immediately under attack from Robert Kellert. 2 lines of racing. And this race is going to go quite all the way, and I think we're going to see some great racing as the 71 starts to pull away from the field.
Yeah, we watched the 4 truck of Kellert right there try to get a little bit of a side draft on the 76, and the 3 is right there. The 71 comes up, and he's not going to be enough, and it screwed him over. He's going to be stuck in the middle, and he's going to fall back.
He got chili dog trying to block both lanes. You can't do that. So
and he turns the 3. 71 turns the 3.
The 96, the 24, all involved in that incident. Yellow flag out one more time, and all because nobody wanted to let Borst into their lane.
No, it looked like Borst wanted to bully himself back in line, and it just didn't work out. It looked like we're gonna look here and see what exactly happened, but man, that didn't turn out in his favor.
If I'm Josh Jones right now, I am absolutely firing my spotter. I'm going to tell him, what were you thinking there, dude? I wasn't clear of the 71. Because it looks like the 3 was just trying to come down, maintain that lane, and he just never heard, hey, you're not clear of the 71 yet. Stay high. And or the 71 may come up to him. Either way, that's going to cause a 5-truck incident, maybe even more. No, 8 trucks. This is the big one we were talking about, everyone. This is the big one.
Oh, 100%. We're going to watch back here exactly what happened. We're watching on board with Borst when he was leading. He tries to get both of those lanes, not able to do it. We'll watch on board here and see what really happened here, but he was stuck in the middle. He was getting frustrated. He had to get back in line. It looks like the 3 came down across the nose of the 71.
Yeah, like I said, if I'm Josh Jones right now, I'm getting on the radio and I'm telling my spotter, look, go find something else to do. Someone else spot for me, because he was not clear of the 71. He was not clear of Borst when that happened. And I think if he had just gotten better instructions, if he had just said, hey, 71's still under, stay high, we would have had a completely different outcome to that incident.
Yeah, and from that angle, it looked like the 71 hooked the 3, but watching on board, you guys saw it right there. The 3 came down across the nose of the 71, and that's just plate racing. That's just what happens. Looks like the 24 is down on pit road, and he's going to make another stop. I'm not sure what's going on with all these stops tonight with these guys.
I think it's simply precaution. I think a lot of these guys are just simply precautionary coming down pit road to try to figure out what they need to do and how they need to do it and, maintain their trucks out there tonight. The nice thing is, this is not a tire race. Yep, they're going to get tires anyways, because you might as well, as long as you're getting fuel, right?
Yep.
Of course, not going down pit road. Charles Gray, Eric O'Neill, a lot of quick repairs going to happen.
A lot of quick repairs happening on pit road, and that's the beauty of it all. You know, you get in there, you get the fast repair done, you get back out, you go back racing again. However, you only have a few of those, so you really got to, you know, choose when you use them. But when you get caught up in a wreck like that, there's not a lot you can do. There just isn't. Watching here in the front, here's a guy we haven't seen very much of as far as this race. Oh, he started 4th, but now he is in 1st. That's Tony Wilson, the 76 truck.
It always entertains me, his paint scheme. The reverse Earnhardt food bench sandwich plus machine. That always entertains me. Just gives me a chuckle every time I see it.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying they believe that was the big one. I don't think we've seen the big one yet, because the big one's going to happen when we see everybody involved in the crash, and I think that could absolutely happen from the very front of the pack. You have, you know, second place. Let's say you have the leader block in second place and he gets turned. Everybody's going to get caught up in that. There's just nowhere to go.
You know, Jeff, that wreck, that was not the big one. It was inconvenient, it was dangerous, but I do love chicken. And, you know, that's not the big one. I think the big one will happen when these guys are out of quick repairs. The big one will happen when you have a big number of trucks completely ended, you know, and you don't want to see that early in the race. I mean, we are about a third of the way through, but still, you do not want to see it right now. You want to see it happen on lap 60 as everybody is scrambling to the finish line to get the checkered flag. They'll have some fun right now. They will test the limits of these trucks, but you're not going to see the big one till the end of the race when trucks are out permanently. That's the big one tonight.
Wes Graham coming back down on pit road. He's got a lot of damage to the rear of that truck. I think he's just waiting to get back down. He was in 3rd when he hit pit road here, and he does have help. He has the 24 back on pit road again. I guess they're not happy with that truck.
You know, I've got to wonder, are these guys saving their quick repairs? Because here you have Wes Graham coming back down pit road. It looks like he might have got a quick repair that time. Talladega Victory, the full sail Chevrolet on pit road as well. I've got a feeling they may be saving their quick repairs because they know that they're going to have more incidents. They're going to have a lot more trouble out there. So I've got a feeling they're just trying to save as much as they can just to be competitive, knowing that when the big one does happen, they still want to be competitive.
Well, I mean, look, you know, you got a season here. You have points. I know it's only one more race after this one left, but these guys are going for everything they have, and it's going to come down to that. You know, it's going to come down to, you know, where you finish here at Talladega. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think that they're coming down. They're not using fast repairs. They're just using the normal crews to work on those, get them in a decent shape to get back out there, at least, you know, until the next one. And maybe they're waiting for the next caution, or they're banking on another caution.
Oh, I'm absolutely banking on cautions tonight. I filled the ice chest extra tonight because I knew we were going to have a lot of caution flags tonight.
We've had 3 so far, a total of 6 laps, and you may say, 6 laps, that's not too bad, right? When you have a 2.44 mile track, yeah, well, that changes everything. It becomes, 2.65, not 2.44, 2.65 miles. I had to fact check myself there. But it's a long way around under caution. You go from having all this adrenaline from plate racing down to just riding. And then, you know, you have that adrenaline again, and then you're back to riding. And it really does play, its toll after a while on the drivers.
Oh, it absolutely does. This is definitely a marathon, especially when you've got so much time to kill. 6 to 10 minutes, every caution flag. That is a lot of time with just you and your thoughts behind that wheel, looking around at everybody else, especially if you're like Ryan Stewart, who's using virtual reality. If you go to his stream right now, twitch.tv/CivRyan, you can see him actually, working that virtual reality, and that takes a mental toll on you, if nothing else.
No, it does, but it's way more comfortable being there in VR, I can tell you that right now. At least you're more stimulated while you're driving around doing nothing. We're getting some words from the 24 truck in the very back that they are making a strategy call, and they have not been involved in a wreck yet. They have all their fast repairs, so the 24 making a strategy call to come down pit road, to go to the back of the pack, and maybe they don't want to be a part of the wrecks. Let everybody use their stuff in the front, use all of their fast repairs, and be there at the end to win it.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely the smart way to go about things. So, pace car lights are off. We're about to go back to green flag racing in another 90 seconds or so. So it's your last chance to get a snack if you really want one. Here's how they're going to restart. Tony Wilson, the 76 truck, I should say, will start position number 1 outside of him. The Toyota, number 4 of Robert Keller. Aaron Beaver, Alex Reno. Start row number 2, John Borst, Derek O'Neill will start row number 3. Charles Gray, Josh Jones, row number 4, and row number 5 will be Ryan Stewart and Wes Graham. Rounding out the rest of the field, Tyler Lightsey, Francisco Rodriguez Martinez, and Tyler Lugo Victory. 13 trucks still in the race, and it's still anyone's to win.
It's anybody's to win, and a driver we haven't talked a whole lot about is that 57 truck all the way in the back. That's Tyler Lightsey. He is he's no stranger to plate racing, and I think that what he's doing is making the right decision. He sees how racy these guys are in the front. If he wants to win a race, he's not here for points. He's here to win this race. I can tell you that right now. So I think he's going to drop to the back like these other guys and just wait and see what happens.
And that's the smart thing to do. If you're not in it for points, if you're not trying to get ahead in a hurry, drop back, watch everybody else, just stay in the draft, and watch everyone else get into one another. That gives you the opportunity to make adjustments and get away from the big one as it happens. Pace cars heading down pit road this time by, and the field will be in the command for Tony Wilson for the first time tonight.
Tony Wilson is your control truck. Look at all the trucks on the bottom lane. I'm counting it right now. You got 6, 7, 8 on the bottom and only 5 on the top. Well, we'll see what happens here when they drop the green flag, and they're just about to.
So Tony Wilson will control the field. He will restart low. This is the first time he's going to restart low tonight. Green flag in the air, and to everybody took that one slow. Look at the number 3, though. He's already on the high line.
Josh
Jones, going to try to
yeah.
make something work.
Wow, what a restart by the 3 truck. He has no help right now, but I don't think that matters. He's going to go for it anyway, and I don't know if the 88's going to go with the 3. He's going to stick to the 37 right now, but right now the 4 is trying to power on the outside of the 76.
The 3's trying to get in that low draft. No love for him, though. He's still going to power through anyways, and now he's going to have a taker. The 57 of Tyler Lightsey's going to go. 3 wide racing, going into 3 and 4.
And Lightsey's going to come up to the back bumper of the 12. Look at Josh Jones on the outside, trying to get a little bit of side draft on the 4 truck. Not enough to get it done. Then 97 of Beaver making his move now on the inside of the 4.
Check, that's going to be a 37 of Eric O'Neill. I apologize. He's going to go high with him. And it's still 73 in charge for 76 of Tony Wilson. He will remain in charge, but now
4 wide.
Go around on the 97. Could be a 1-truck incident. We're staying green.
We're staying green right now as the 4 truck comes to a stop. I think he's hoping that the caution will fly. It does not. What a heartbreak that is for Robert Keller in the 4. But up front, nonstop racing side by side.
Oh, the 4 is going to be mad. Robert Keller, you just stirred up a hornet's nest right there, as guess who's back in front? On the middle lane, it's the 88 of Wes Graham. Wes the Master once again, back in position number 1 as we almost have another incident.
Whoa, the 37 got wildly loose coming through turn 3, and it could just be a matter of, comfortability of being in the draft. I mean, these trucks are getting pushed around by so much air, and you can see the 37 just wildly almost lost control.
A lot of dirty air in these tunnels. Yes, the draft is what makes these trucks go fast, but there's a lot of dirty air coming off those trucks, and it is creating a lot of turbulence, if you will, on those lines behind him. Tony Wilson stays in the lead, but with 2 lines forming almost equal to one another, I don't know how much longer he can hold that.
No, and I'm happy to see 2 lanes of traffic. I think that's what we need right now. 3 wide's not working. It's nearly causing crashes. These guys are figuring that out really fast, and now they're going to be side by side. That gives you enough, time to get used to driving around the guys you're driving around. You want to get used to that. You want to get comfortable when you're doing that. And 2x2 at Talladega is plenty of room, and I think that's the way to go right now.
Absolutely, it is. And these trucks are pretty well lined up. It looks like about an even number of trucks on each lane as Wes Graham will take the lead officially. He's going to get the big push from Eric O'Neill behind him. And it looks like that middle lane is really good on the straightaways and the tri-oval. But in the turns, the low lane really comes to life. And I think you're going to see that battle happening as we go two-line racing.
And this is just how wild it is. We're right on board with the 37 of Eric O'Neill. He's right behind the 88 of Graham, giving him that push. You hear him jumping out of the gas. That's because when you're in the draft, you're getting really, really close to the guy in front of you. You have that momentum. You got to jump out of the gas. Or some guys like to ride the brakes a little bit. But that's the reason why you're hearing them jump out of the gas like that. You don't want to run over the guy in front of you. It's a balancing act. You just got to hang out right there behind him and give him the push he needs.
That is the best way to describe it, Jeff. It is definitely a balancing act. These guys, every truck out there is balancing that throttle, making sure that they don't run over the guy in front of them, and making sure they retain their run. Everyone's minding their P's and Q's right now as they run two lines. The only one really trying to figure out if the high line can work is that 96 truck of Rodriguez Martinez. He's trying at a high line, that Dale Jr. line, see if he can get any momentum up there, but nothing happening. Everyone preferring the middle line right now.
And the 96 is going to drop all the way to the back, and he'll get in line behind the 22. It looks like he might lose the draft. Oh, he might have lost connection.
Might have lose a little bit of connection. We will check up with him right now. With Chap favorite is the 22 of Aviator Alex Reno. He is stuck in the middle lane right now. He's behind several trucks, but I think that's a strategy move. I think him and some other trucks are just waiting to see if these two lines are going to come into each other and cause another big wreck.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the smart move right now. You got a lot of racing to go. We're almost to the halfway point, but it comes down to I'm really surprised that we're not seeing single file racing right now. We're seeing double, all the way back, but now it's starting to look like it's getting to a single file.
Another truck going to go back to the field. That's 24 of Tyler Lugo Vickery. The full sail machine is going to take some of the wind out of that sail as well. So we got a challenge now for the lead. Wes Graham under attack from Eric O'Neill. O'Neill will take the lead with some help from Josh Jones and company.
Wow, what a move by Eric O'Neill. He saw the opportunity. He saw that Tony Wilson was falling back so much there. But look at this is how much it can change in a matter of one lap. We saw Wilson all the way in the front, and he dropped all the way back. Looked like he was going to lose it. And then he had help from Beaver, and he's back up there in the mix.
It's the power of the draft. If you can stay in that tunnel, if you can stay up with the guy in front of you, that's all you need to stay competitive tonight, as Graham does not want to give away the lead to Eric O'Neill, but he may not have a choice if O'Neill's got more momentum behind him. No, it looks like with only 3 trucks on that train, it's going to be Wes the Mess once again working on the lead.
And Wes has a lot of help from behind. That is the 12 truck of Ryan Stewart. We're on board with him right now. And you can just see he's being really smooth on that wheel. That's what it's all about. You don't want to be wild with that wheel. That's how you wear your tires out. That's how you scrub speed off. You want to be as smooth as possible. And it looks like there's a bit of a gap between Ryan and all the way back to the 71 of Borst. But Borst needs help to get up to the 12.
Charles Gray might be able to give him that push as he's got a little bit of a draft behind him. But Chad, this is the moment you've been waiting for. The Ryan Stewart, Civ Ryan in position number 2. Is he going to battle for the lead? He's not jumping out of line. He knows that middle line's the way to be, right place to be right now.
Yeah, and it's so important to not get too antsy this early on, even the halfway point in a plate race. Right behind the 88. You're saving fuel when you do that, number 1. And number 2, you're getting used to his line. You're seeing how he's racing. And then whenever it comes down to it, you're going to be right there ready to get it done. Now, is it different this year? Well, we saw it in Daytona. You can drag back a little bit to get a run and get around, but I think that the only way you're going to be able to beat the 88 tonight, he's very fast, is you're going to have a lot of help.
Jeff, if you look at that blimp cam, it's going to show you just the big difference between the 2 lines right now. Everyone is on that middle line. You've got 7 trucks on the top on that middle line compared to 4 down low. And this is simple train physics. If you've got a train with 7 cars and 2 engines in front, as opposed to 4 cars and 1 engine up front, guess who's going to get the bigger run? It's going to be the 2-engine train with a whole lot of help behind them.
Yep, and it looks like the 71's just kind of playing it safe right now. But, man, Ryan Stewart in that 12 truck is all over the 88, giving him bumps. They do not want the 57 of Lightsey and the 37 O'Neill to get a run on the inside, and I just don't see that happening anyway with only 5 trucks.
Well, now there's 5 trucks on the inside, so that could be the defining factor. They might need one more to come down with him, but if they can start getting a run, if they can start getting together and get the slingshot going, they could easily challenge West up front in that 88 and really start to try to make something move. I think it's really going to be up to Ryan Stewart. If he jumps down low, if he goes that low line, he may be able to take the lead away, but he's very comfortable right now all over the tailgate of that 88.
Riding on board with the 57 of Lightsey, and he's starting to get a little bit of a run here on the 88 of West, and it might happen here. All he needs is to be able to clear the nose of the 88, and he'll be in control of the field. But it looks like it's not going to happen, as we talked about it before. More trucks in that middle lane. That's the way. That's how you do it. That's how you're going to pass.
So right now, the middle lane is the place to be. Nobody wants to get out of line with 34 laps run in this race. We are past halfway at this juncture. Every lap counts, every position counts as the low lane starting to pick up a little bit of steam. That's Tyler Lightsey, the 57 Police Chevrolet. Can he make a run? I don't know if he's got the momentum behind him to do it.
And they are closing in on the 4 of Robert Kellert. What a heartbreak that was for Robert Kellert that was involved in that self-spin. And he didn't get a caution for it. But, man, they're going to be blown by him really soon here. Hopefully he'll be able to move out of the way and let everybody by.
I don't think he's going to move anywhere. I think right now, if I'm the 88 of West Graham, I'm looking back and I'm looking more in my rearview mirror than I am in front of me, because I know there's nothing in front of me. There's nothing I have to worry about in front. All
Look
I
at the
worry
difference.
about is the 12 going to jump out of line?
Look at the difference in speed. He's doing 168 right there and on board with Wes Graham. 185 as he blitzes right on by Robert Kellert in that 4 truck.
Good news for Robert Kellert. He's only 1 lap down. So if he stays in this draft, if a caution comes out again, he can get his lap back. He can get back to being competitive one more time. Good on him, though, for not taking tempting fate and wrecking somebody there. That's a very classy move to stay high as everyone races for position, as now we could have a real battle for the lead.
Yeah, it was. And look at the 57 of Lights. He's starting to get that run. Those 4 trucks are starting to tighten up really well on the bottom, and it's just been side by side the entire time. But going back to what we were talking about with Kellert, yeah, that was a classy move by him to move out of the way. And it's unfortunate he wasn't able to get down fast enough to get back into the draft, so it looks like he might lose the draft again unless the 24 somebody falls back a little bit and grabs him.
Tyler Lightsey officially being scored as your leader right now, but it is a drag race down the backstretch between Lightsey and Graham. Those 2 drivers side by side as the middle lane still just has a great run on the backstretch and the tri-oval. Now getting the 57 claw back in front and try to take back the lead. I don't think they can. I don't think they've got the momentum right now.
Well, when you look at who's in your line, you understand the reason why it is working. You've got the 88 of Wes Graham, incredible plate racer. You've got the 12 of Ryan Stewart, just a great racer all around. All these guys are great racers, but we're talking about the 12. We're talking about the 71 of Borst. What an incredible driver we've seen out of him this season. And then behind him, you got Charles Gray. You got the 76 of Wilson, the 22 of Reno. That matters. Who is behind you matters so much in order to maintain the lead.
For those following Francisco Rodriguez-Martinez, he is pulled off and he is done for the night, as now we've got a challenge to lead from the high side. There's going to be several trucks, including John Borst and Charles Gray. They're going to try to challenge for the lead from the high side.
Yeah, John Borst and Charles Gray want to get around the trucks on the outside. They just don't have enough help. Looks like the 24 is going to see if it's worth it. And he's going to go up there and help him. Hey, that's better than just being by yourself. But it looks like the 4 of Robert Kellert is going to win out in that. And he's going to be able to grab the draft and hang on.
Hang on for dear life, waiting for the next big one to happen, as Ryan Stewart still patiently waits behind the 88 of Graham. Uh-oh, they got some trouble going on. The 87 of Charles Gray, he got stuck in the wall glue. He's going to drop all the way back.
Wow, that was a incredible save by the 88. The 87. Usually whenever it gets into the wall like that, it's hard to keep it from getting off the wall and wanting to spin. So he was able to keep it straight. However, he's going to lose the draft. That's a heartbreak for that team.
Bad news for the Monster Energy Chevrolet. They're going to lose the draft. They are going to go a lap down, as well as Tyler Lugo Vickery in the Full Sail Chevrolet, they're going to go a lap down as well. Side by side, they continue to run that big oof there. It helps 88 of Wes Graham as he solidly gets back the lead on lap 39.
I'll tell you one thing about the 88 truck is he is not leaving the help that he has in the middle lane. He could drop down anytime he wants to, and he could be in front of the 57 truck, but he has confidence that the 12 and the 76 and the 71 and the 22 aren't going anywhere. They want to go to the front.
The 12 trying to peek down low, see if he can get a run on that low line. Nope, the door is closed by the 57 of Tyler Lightsey. They're once again getting a run, but I don't know if they can hold on to it as they go into turns 3 and 4.
Now, it looks like the 3 of Josh Jones is getting a little squirrely behind the 37, and that's starting to create an issue of not enough push in that line, and that's why the 57 can't get by. But because there's an incredible gap between the 76 of Wilson and the 71 of Borst, and it's anybody's guess right now, but look at how tight the 88, the 12, and the 76 are right now. They're working really well together, and they're proving that 3 versus 5 it's working. But now everybody drops at the bottom.
10 trucks on the main draft. 10 trucks all now, most of them now on the low line, but they're not organized. They're not pulled up tight together. The 3 on the middle lane, they are retaining their speed, and they are able to continue racing up front. Tyler Lightsey needs a lot of help if he's going to get around that middle lane with the great head of steam they've already got on there.
What a push by the 37 to the 57. Almost was able to get enough of a push, but it's that whole problem of you get the push, but there's nothing to do with it. And you saw that happen with the 57. He had the momentum to get by the 88, but it just stalled out. There's not enough help.
Stalled out, just not enough help, even as Tyler Lightsey is getting bump draft help from Eric O'Neill. Those guys in the low line, they just can't get the run that middle line has. They are definitely in a place they're looking for all the speed they can get. They're looking for all the help they can get so they can start making a run on the 88 of Wes Graham.
19 laps to go, and it shows. Look at the 12 all over the rear bumper of the 88, giving him yet another push, but he is not dropping down. It could be so easy for the 12 to drop down right now, get the push from the 57, and then leave the 88 behind. Maybe that's what you want to do whenever you have a driver like Graham out front. You don't want him in front. You want him in the back, and this is your time to do it.
19 laps left here at Talladega Superspeedway before we crown a champion. Lightsey not getting the run he needs. He's now 3 truck lengths behind Wes Graham. Ryan Stewart glued to the back bumper of Wes Graham, and Tony Wilson in that group as well. One of those guys are going to have to jump out the line. It's just a matter of who and who's going to follow him.
Exactly, and I'll tell you what, we've been talking about this the entire time, but the reason why the 88 is leading is because of that 12 truck. You've seen how many trucks were behind the 57, and they couldn't get it done because the 37 O'Neill would get to his bumper, give him a push, but he would get squirrely, or he'd lose the draft there for a few seconds and then get back in line. And that's the difference. That's all it takes. It's a matter of a few seconds here.
Is Ziv Ryan gonna make the move? He's got the 78 behind him. He's got Josh Jones behind him. He's debating it. He is tempting fate as they try to close him off, forcing him to run in that middle lane.
And we're watching right here. As he gets through the corner, watch the 12. He gets all over the rear bumper of the 88, but he's not bumping him. He's taking his time to do it. And that's what you want to do, because if you are pushing on them in the corner, it's so easy to absolutely miss and hit a little bit of the square on the right side of the truck or the left side and spin them, and that's exactly what you don't want to happen.
So Wes Graham continues to stay up front. Ryan Stewart all over his back bumper. 4 trucks in the middle lane. Everyone else trying to low line, seeing if they can make something work. And I'm right now, if I'm on that low line, if I'm Tyler Lightsey, I am looking at Ryan Stewart, looking at him, just thinking, when are you going to go? When are you going to make the move around the 88? Because we could use that help. We need you to pull our train so we can get around the 88 Quagmire in traffic.
Right now it's 4 versus 6, and this comes down to just how smooth those top 4 are driving right now. That's all the difference right there. And now there's a pretty good gap between Beaver there in the 97 and the 71 of Borst, but I think Borst, Reno, and we know Kellert's back there because he's down a lap. But those guys in the back, I think they're just waiting for a wreck to happen up here, and they don't want to be involved.
17 laps left in this contest, 16 when they hit the start-finish line, and now it looks like they're going to try to mess around with 2 lanes, 3 lanes. No! Tyler Lightly's going to go down pit road. He's going down pit road with 16 left.
57 is on pit road, and also the 97 of Beaver. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe a strategy call. They don't think it's going to happen. We got 3 wide racing up front. And O'Neal is around.
37 goes around. All right, man. 37 is around. Caution is out.
Caution is out.
On pit road. They have squandered the opportunity. Eric O'Neal goes around, gets back into the racing lanes, and we are under caution. And if you are Tyler Lightsey right now, if you are Aaron Beaver, I can't imagine what's going on, what's going through your head.
Nothing good, I can assure you of that. Nothing good. We're going to see what happened here with the 37 truck of O'Neal. He saw his momentum that he had with Wilson. It looks like the whole bottom lane just got completely out of shape whenever the 57 hit pit road, and O'Neal had nowhere to go, and he didn't want to hit the leader. He comes down, and the 76 is right there. Around he went. He's able to hold on to it without any damage. The 71 got around 22 and the 4 of Keller. Oh, but no, he took a hard right lick there. The 37 did in the outside wall. He'll have to bring that down pit road for sure.
He tried. He did everything he could to maintain his line, to try to stay up and try to stay in that group, but it was just for naught. You know, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug, and at that point, man, he was the bug. Good news is, Lightsey and Beaver looks like they're going to get their position back, and we got to figure out where everyone else circles out now as we catch up back to the first racing Ford Mustang pace car.
I'm going to actually back it all the way up to that incident, and we're going to ride on board with the 37 to see exactly what happened there from the rear bumper.
So let's go ahead and watch that replay from the rear bumper there. Jeff, you got that on the call, looks like.
Around he went. Yeah, he thought he was clear. He wasn't clear. He was able to get it slowed down a little bit there before he got into the outside wall.
It's hard to do when you're at speed, when you are at that full tilt. It is incredibly hard to get that truck slowed down and get that truck balanced out where it needs to be. So great kudos for him for trying to save the truck. The bad news is it was just too little too late as everyone's going down pit road one last time here tonight at Talladega.
Last time down pit road tonight. This is where you do not want to make a mistake. We'll talk a little bit about what has changed in iRacing in the recent year, and that is the addition of the animated pit crews and just how difficult it is to get inside of those pit boxes, just like the real drivers have to deal with. So you have that, and look, we got the 76 and the 22 missing their stalls, having to back up a little bit, losing time on that. Huge implication there. The 71 gets away. I think the 71 might have only taken a couple tires there.
It might have been a 2-tire stop. Let's go back and look at the 71. Yes, it is only a 2-tire stop, and even with the trouble for the extra life machine, John Borst able to get in, take the 2 tires, get back out, and he will be your leader when we go back to Green Flag Racing.
I think that's a smart move by Borst. If you want to win this race, you've got to be in the front, and he's going to beat both of those guys off of pit road. But let's not count out the 88. Let's not count out the 12 of Stewart. Those two have been bad fast together, and unless the 71 has help, it's easy for the 88 and 12 to work on this next restart.
And, of course, in that group as well is the 87 of Charles Gray. He does have a little bit of tailgate damage on the Monster Energy Chevrolet, but Charles Gray could be a factor in this once we go back to Green Flag Racing. If he's competitive, if he's in the group, all he needs to do is stay competitive, get a push from someone else, and he could be in the lead very quickly.
Another driver to keep an eye on, and we have talked about. He's a rookie in this, and you've seen some wild maneuvers tonight by the 3 of Josh Jones. But Jones has actually been able to hang in there, and he's been fighting up there in the top 5 all night. So the 3 of Josh Jones has a good chance at this one as well. It's anybody's game, of course, but I think it's going to come down to beating that 12 and that 88. Whoa, the 4's around into the wall, hits the 88 under caution. What happened? Not sure what happened. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that before. We're going to back it up and try to figure out what exactly happened there. That was wild, man.
The 4, I think, was trying to get back into position and just overshot it, hit the brakes hard, and he got a little piece of the 88. And the 4, Robert Kellert, man, that makes a bad night even worse.
Let's watch what happened here. The 4 is at full speed here. He sees the whole group here. He's going to try to get into the line. He's hard in the brakes. And, right into the outside wall. Nothing he can do. And the 88 just gets tagged. And that's unfortunate for the 88. The 12 was able to get around him, no problem. But the 88 is going to have damage on his truck. And he's down on pit road right now.
Down on pit road, they're going to have to get some work, maybe even a quick repair on those trucks in order to get back racing. When we go back racing, it'll be around lap 50, so we'll have 11 laps to go. And the one thing everyone does not want to see here is a green-white checkered finish, because it's going to take a long time to get these trucks revved up, and it's just going to be trucks everywhere. Now, the green-white checkered finish has been added to iRacing, so this is an option for these drivers, but I guarantee you, they're going to save it. They're not going to avoid that at all if it's possible.
Well, I can tell you right now, let's talk a little bit about that incident we just saw happen with the 4 truck. You never see anything like that happen, really. But the reason why these things happen, he had the wave around. He was at speed. He misjudged where the pace car was. Let's talk a little bit more about the brake bias. Whenever you have your brake bias set for getting on pit road at Talladega, you want that bias towards the front. You don't want it in the back. And then we saw what just happened there. I think his bias was set back to racing. He got hard into the brakes, and what happens there? You start understeering, you go into the wall, and the rest was history.
All right, chat, so let's go ahead and hear it. Who do you have to win this race? There's a lot of trucks everywhere else around the group, around the field. As we come back around one more time, who do you guys have to win? I want to hear from you, and I'm going to share mine here in a minute. But let's start with you, Jeff. If you're watching this race with 10 laps to go, who's your money on to win?
Right now, it's really hard to say, but at this point, it really does come down to track position. And I don't know what happened with the 88 and the 12. The 12 is gone. Something happened with the 12. I don't know if he lost. Something happened, but he's no longer on the track right now. So my money's right there on either the 87 or Gray. I'm going to say Gray.
I think John Borst is going to be the one who ends up picking up the win tonight. He's been the bridesmaid a lot, never the bride. I think tonight is the night he picks up that big win, and he picks up the lot on TV here. In chat, we're hearing a lot of Borst. We're hearing a lot of Brian Stewart, although I don't know what happened to him. He just manually disconnected. I don't know what happened to him. I'm going to go over to stream right now and figure it out.
Yeah, I believe what we're hearing is that his game might have crashed. This is what happens in sim racing. You deal with things that real drivers don't have to deal with. Well, real drivers have to deal with their trucks blowing up or having a malfunction somewhere else. But when it comes down to electronics, it's very your PC is capable of being garbage if you have like a Windows 10 update or something. And I think that's just what he just got nipped on that. So call it what you will. It's Talladega.
Watching his stream, it looks like his game did crash. He is loading in right now. That's basically akin to having a starter go out or having something electrical go out. The good news is you can fix that and you can get back on track. And at Talladega, you've got a lot of time to do it. Basically, you've got 2-minute pace laps to get back on track. The bad news is if he can't get back on track sooner rather than later, he's going to lose this draft, and he'll need another caution flag in order to get competitive one more time.
He's out of time because the lights are out on the pace car. However, he can hope and pray for a caution. We might see one of those. And this is Talladega. I'm talking about the 87 being the one to beat. And the reason why is because he's going to have the 76 behind him. We saw how strong that 76 of Wilson was earlier, and that's what it takes. We've seen the 3 truck of Jones not being as strong as the 76 as far as holding the draft. And then you have the 22 behind the 3. Where did 22 come from? Well, he waited and waited and waited. I don't know. The 22 is definitely one to watch as well.
So here's how they restart real quick. John Boers, Charles Gray on the front row. Josh Jones, Tony Wilson, row number 2. Alex Reno, Aaron Beaver, row number 3. Eric O'Neill, Wes Graham, row number 4. Tyler Lugo Vickery in the inside of Tyler Lightsey. Robert Kellert is in there, and Ryan Stewart right now scored position number 12. We'll see if he actually gets back on track.
Stewart's
as the
back
pace
on track.
car comes down pit road.
Pace car is down and away, long waiting, and the 12 of Stewart is on the track, but he is stuck right now in the pit stall, and I think he's going to wait until they get going before he gets back out on the track. Green flag of the year, Talladega.
John Boris wastes no time. He's gonna hit it hard. He's gonna try to lead the next 11 laps around this track. Charles Gray on the outside needs some help. 2 by 2, they go through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Gray did not have a whole lot of help there by the 76 on that restart, but look at the 3 of Josh Jones trying to get to the front. The 71 decided to jump out of line and go with the 87 of Gray, but now you got more trucks on the bottom. Well, actually, it's pretty even now.
The Intimidator needs some help down there if he wants to intimidate John Boris from this lead, as he has got it on a stranglehold. Charles Gray, Tony Wilson, all on his back tailgate. They are looking for some help to try to get around him. Charles Gray poking high, not going to go around this time.
Not at all, and it looks like the 88 of Graham is going really high, and he took some help with them of Eric O'Neill. It's like Eric O'Neill brushed the fence.
Tony Wilson now makes a move. He's going to go down low, try to get around the 71 of Borst, who is fighting off the 97 of Gray. Not going to make the move this time by, but Borst now under fire from 2 sides.
Right now, that was a Stewart that just went by there. He's going to move all the way to the outside lane, let everybody by here, but he's back up to speed right now. Going to be scored 1 lap down as it is right now. It'll probably be 2 here in just a few moments. But Gray is right there all over the back bumper of the 71, and we're seeing that middle line taking its, taking its, I don't know what you say, positivity, whatever.
Yes, positivity. I think that's the right term there.
I don't think it is, but I'll take it.
Meanwhile, Wes the Mess, he's going to try the high line. He's going to try to challenge the 97, trying to side draft them, trying to take the air off him and the 24 of Tyler Lugo Vickery. It's going to work as Borst and Charles Gray start getting a run on everybody else.
Borst and Charles Gray out front of the 97 of Beaver, and we've seen Beaver earlier tonight, but we haven't talked a whole lot about him. He's right now in 3rd. He started 12th. He's been staying away in the back, and that's the thing. We're seeing these guys that were in the back, but look at the 88 of Wes Graham on the outside. What a hell of a move, and he's got a lot of help from the 24 of Vickery.
3 lanes of racing now, all trying to get to position number 1. Borst under fire from the 78 down, or 76 down low, the 88 up top. And it looks like the low line may be the place to be right now, as Tony Wilson really wants that position. Not going to get it, though. 8 laps to go.
Going to be 8 laps to go here at Talladega, and you can tell everybody is 3 wide, and there goes the 57 of Lights. He's turned around, and we might get a caution here in just a few moments, and yes, we will. The 57 is got a lot of damage to that truck, and it looks like the 76 might have had something to do with it.
Taking a look back at the replay, the 57 Police Silverado of Tyler Lightsey, looks like he just got involved in another racing incident, trying to make a 4th line, if you will. Cuts in front of the 76. The 76 just gives him the good old pit maneuver. Will be a single truck spin, and Lightsey not down, but not out, as a caution flag is back on the field.
Yeah, Lightsey just trying to make his own lane there, had no help. Josh Jones decided to stay on the bottom with Wilson, and looks like the 57 just cleared himself right across the nose of the 76. 76 did a great job of getting to the brakes, not losing control of the truck, kept it straight, and Lightsey in the 57 takes a hard lick in the rear of the truck, and he'll have to bring it down to pit road.
Seven's done. I think he's still got 1 more run in him, and the good news is, if he still has a quick repair underneath him, he can get back in the mix very, very quickly, even if he's on the very back of the lane. Now, what I'm really curious about is, when are we going to go to green flag racing? Will it be a 3-lap shootout? Will it be a 2-lap dash for the cash? We will go back under green flag racing, but under what lap will it be, and how much time will these guys have in order to get back up front and start making moves?
I don't know. It looks like the 71 of Borst really blew by the pace car there. He's slowing down right now. Not sure what was going on there. I don't know what's going on tonight with everybody and driving under yellow, but it's been scary. The 12 of Stewart's going to get his lap back, and he'll only be 1 lap down right now. He'll be scored. So it's possible. You know, he had those issues. He brought it down to pit road. He got back out there, and it could come down to, you know, a late race caution could get Stewart back on the map.
Well, this is a late race caution he was absolutely hoping for. He wanted to get, and I think he's going to go back on the lead lap. He just got waved around the pace car, so before his for that electrical issue he had. So let's see if he gets waved around one more time and gets that lap back. He could be a wild card in this race. This could change the complexion. But again, when are we going to go back to green flag racing? I've got a feeling we'll probably go back to green flag racing around lap 58 with 3 to go.
Well, we're starting to lose the sun a little bit, too. I think they'll be happy that they don't have the sun glaring in their face now, but it is going down, and there are no lights here at Talladega, so we'll have to see what happens with that. Waiting for the sun to continue to go down, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a problem for them or not.
In the virtual world, you have a lot of liberties you don't have in real life. The sun going down is not one of them. I think we will finish this race before the virtual sun sets here at Talladega.
Well, that's
I could be wrong, though.
Hey, that's good. Yeah, it looks like the 12's taking another wave around, and he is going to get all the way back on the lead lap. That's going to put him back there with the 22 of Reno, with the 57 of Lightsey, with Robert Kellert in the 4 truck. Robert Kellert in the 4. He got his lap back. He's back on the lead lap. Everybody is on the lead lap except for everybody that was parked. And the only one we have parked right now is Francisco Rodriguez Martinez, after he had issues with his connection and he dropped out. But everybody's back in the game. So it's anybody's guess. And I can tell you this, Joe, this won't be the last caution.
All right, Jeff's already predicting a green-white checkered finish here at the end. I don't know that you're wrong, but I really do hope these guys get it done in 60 laps tonight. I don't think anybody really wants the stress of a green-white checkered finish, especially knowing that, you know, you could have up to 3 of them tonight.
Yeah,
and
up to
with
3
these
attempts.
You have 3 attempts. And with these 2-minute-long laps, there's a lot of time to get your own head there and really kind of screw up your opportunity to win the race.
Yeah, but no matter how you swing it, it's Talladega, it's plate racing. You're going to have green-white checkers. In my opinion, that's way better now that iRacing does have those, rather than when they didn't and you had to finish things under caution. It was a little anticlimactic for sure, but we'll see how things play out tonight. But I'm going to guess that we're going to have more cautions, and that's going to allow people like the 57 of Lightsey, the 12 of Stewart, to get back up there in the mix in the front. And we see what happens when you have the 88, the 12, the 76 together. And great things happen if they use that middle lane. For those of you that are just joining us back, we are under caution here at Talladega with the OCRP iRacing League, and it's been a pretty active race. It's been nonstop action out front. We've seen a lot of crashes tonight. Let's see what we had. We had cautions, total of 5 cautions tonight. That's 14 laps around this track, and it takes absolutely forever to get around it. So a lot of downtime happening there. We've had some weird things happen. We had the 4 of Robert Kellert on his wave around lap, missed the pace car, hit the brakes, go into the outside lane, hit the wall, come back down, hit one of the leaders. He had damage on his truck. He had to come down pit road. We've seen a lot of weird things like that. Ryan Stewart had an electrical issue, had to come down pit road, get that fixed, was able to get back out there, get his 2 laps back, and he's back in the running. So it's anybody's guess, but we'll have the lights off on the pace car next time by, and we'll be green flag racing here shortly.
So when we go back to green flag racing, we will have 3 laps. And I am hopeful that they get those 3 laps and they figure it out in those 3 laps, but I could be wrong, Jeff. You've already predicted at least one green light checkered finish. If it does go to that, I think all bets are off, and everybody's going to be in the mix to win this race.
Yep, and it all comes down to those late race cautions. It is plate racing. It's a byproduct of it. So instead of getting upset about it, you roll with the punches. And the guys that are staying cool and calm and collected are the ones that have a chance to win this race. If you're behind there, you're grabbing onto that wheel as hard as you can. You're clenching. You're feeling the nerves. That's going to get to you. And we've seen a lot of these cycles of these guys getting the adrenaline up while they're racing and then slowing down for the slow laps around here when they're pacing. And it takes its toll for a while. So the guys that can be really, really, really cool and calm, not make a stupid mistake this late in the race, are the ones that are going to win this race.
And if you enjoy what you're watching tonight, be sure to join us next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, for the OCRP iRacing League season finale at arguably the toughest mile and a half in the entire circuit, Kentucky Speedway. These guys will be battling out one more time for the last time in this season for the league championship. You won't want to miss it. 8 o'clock right here at twitch.tv/jfavignano.
And it's going to be a fun one, man. You're not joking. Kentucky is not easy by any means. It's Kentucky, right? Not Kansas?
I believe it's Kentucky.
Yeah, yes. Kentucky, yeah. I was going to say, Kansas is tough as it is, but Kentucky, oh, no. That's going to come down to who really has the skill set with these trucks, because it's a deceitful track. It makes you think that it's like a 1.5, but it's smaller. It's a short track experience. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys are able to handle it.
Lights are off on the first racing Ford Mustang pace car. Here's how they line up. John Boris, Charles Gray will be row number 1. Aaron Beaver, Wes Graham, row number 2. Tyler Lugo Vickery, Eric O'Neill, row number 3. Josh Jones, Tony Wilson, row number 4. Row number 5 is Robert Keller, Alexander Reno, Tyler Lightsey, Ryan Stewart will be in the very back row, row number 6. And all of them are on the lead lap. So anything can happen. Roll the dice if you got him, guys. This is what you've been saving it for. We're going racing at Talladega.
And nobody's going to be laying back here. This is going to be nonstop craziness. Watch that 12 in the back. Watch the 88 of Wes Graham. Watch the 57 of Lightsey. Things are about to get heated up here really soon. Pace cars down, away. That slow, long, excruciating wait to get to the green flag as the 71 of Borst is in control.
Borst waiting for the green flag to come out. Everyone with anticipation. This is the restart that could decide it. Borst hits the lap pedal. We're back to green flag racing, and he is side by side with the 87 Charles Bray, who arguably got the better jump. No way for 71 to get in front in turns 1 and 2. They'll run side by side, 2 lines of racing.
And the 88 of Graham's all over the 87's bumper, pushing and pushing. This is what you've waited for, the end of the race. Push on the guy in front of you as much as possible. Try not to spin him out in the corners. They are going to be side by side all the way down. It's a drag race, and the 24 is right behind the 97, pushing him to the front.
Immediately under fire from the 97 of Aaron Beaver. The OCRP Chevrolet will take the lead. He will get a truck link. Was he going to go the high line, or is he going to stay down low, getting the push from the full sail truck of Tyler Lugo Vickery?
The 12 of Ryan Stewart pulled out of line, tried to make something happen on the outside. Nobody went with him at all. The 71 of Borst is not able to maintain the lead, and look at Josh Jones all over the 24's bumper, pushing him all the way up there, and the 4 of Kellert's up there in the mix.
2 laps to go as they go into turns number 1 and 2. Aaron Beaver, Tyler Lugo Vickery, Josh Jones, all running in the low line, running in the hot line, as it were. Now it's Lugo Vickery's going to go out of line. He's going to try to join the mid line, and the 71's going to go high. 3 lines of racing.
The 4 is all the way to the bottom. Huge crash. The 4 is over on his roof. No caution right now, but it'll probably fly here soon. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
71 of Forrest. He is going to drop through the field as a 12 of Civ Ryan now in the mix for the first group. The 87 of Gray, he's going to go down high, but the leader still remains at 24 of Tyler Lugo Vickery as he will take the white flag.
Look at Ryan Stewart in the middle, pushing it all the way down. He's going to try to get to the back bumper of the 24. Nobody dropped down to help out the 24, but Stewart's there.
97 gets out of line. He's back up. He's going to take the lead. The 3's on the Ricks as well. The 24 all trying to mix. Big
the
12's
behind
around them. Big trouble behind them. Let's follow the group for the lead, for the win.
That was the 12 and the 88 are around. That is going to be it for them. White flag in the air. No caution flies. It comes down to this. Either the 24, the 3, or the 97.
97 of Aaron Beaver still leading. He's trying to block the 3. He is blocking the 3 hard as 2 more trucks get involved. 4 trucks left on the main pace. Aaron Beaver blinks out. He's back up front. Will he take the win through the triangle?
Oh, he gets turned by the 3. He gets turned by the 3, and now the 57 of Lights. He's on the inside. Here they come to the door to the line. Who gets it? Huge crash at the end. Could it be Jones? Lightsy. Lightsy gets it at the end. We're going to have to figure out what happened there. What a finish here tonight at Talladega. Wow, wow. That's all you can say. It's just wow, wow, wow. We're going to watch it from the blimp and see how this happened. Look at the 97 of Beaver. Beaver is blocking. The 3 goes up. No, he didn't even block him. The 3 just turns him right there at the very last second. The 57 hits the apron and gets a run on the 3 because he lost all that momentum from the crash. He gets to his door. He's a little bit of help from the 24. They get to the line, and it's by a nose as he gets turned. The 57 of Lightsy wins it here at Talladega tonight. What a race.
I'm watching this replay again. This is incredible, Jeff. You could not have asked for a crazier finish here at Talladega. Going frame by frame, the 57 just gets a crazy run. The 24 cuts him off, and just from that run, just from the momentum he had there, if the 24 had cut him off, 3 seconds earlier, I think Josh Jones would have picked up the win. But the 57 of Tyler Lightsy finds a way to do it, and he will officially be credited as your winner tonight. What an incredible finish. That was just a war of attrition at the end. Just an incredible war of attrition as you saw trucks just bouncing off each other and getting out at the end of at the last lap.
Watch to see what happened here. There was the crash there in the 57 Lightsy all the way at the bottom. He gets up next to the side of the 3. He has a little bit of push from the 24. He gets turned for the 24 at the line, but that's all it takes. And he gets it done here at Talladega. What an incredible finish here tonight. Wow, these guys put on a great show.
I think we need to watch that last lap before we go in the driver's meeting and finish out tonight's show, Jeff, because that was just ridiculous.
That was absolutely incredible, and what a heartbreaker that was for the 97 of Beaver. I know he really, really wanted that win, and he did a great job. He held it. He held his line all the way. He didn't block the 3. The 3 just got out of line, and what happens is you get that momentum off the back of the truck, and it just takes a little bit, and you think you're clear. You try to get back behind the guy again, you turn him, and I think that's exactly what happened there with the 3.
I think that is exactly what happened, and it was still a lot of fun watching these guys race. They knew it was lap 60. They knew it was all or nothing, and you saw each of those guys try to make that move work, try to get at the end of the race. I think, I don't know about you, Jeff, but I think I'm a little grateful tonight that this is virtual racing and not real racing, because I think there would definitely be some fights breaking down on pit road.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to go down to the pit road, and we're going to talk to the drivers. We're going to listen in on their drivers meeting and see what they thought. But wow, what an incredible finish here at Talladega, and glad they were able to get it done without having to go back to a green white checker.
Yeah, that was just, I don't have the words for it, Jeff. That was you could not ask for a better race to come back to, frankly. This was just an incredible finish, an incredible run by a lot of talented drivers tonight.
Absolutely. We're heading down to the drivers' meeting right now. It's about to take place. We're going to find out what happened. We're going to talk to the winner and see what happened.
Sorry I'm late.
Not a problem at all. Tyler Lightsey right there at the end. What was it like for you on that final lap as we saw the 3 of Jones spin the 97 right at the last second?
I think that might have been a life lesson of patience because especially on that white flag lap, going into turn 1, I saw the wreck in the mirror and I thought there was actually going to be caution, so I kind of got out of it. So, I wasn't involved with Yeti or the 3 and whoever's next to the 3. I didn't want to get involved in their wreck, so I stayed patient until turn 3, and I realized it was white flag, no caution. And by then, I just got lucky, especially on the front stretch when 3 and the other car had a collision, and then from there it was kind of history. I tried to get out of the. I was worried that 3 would come down, and so I went to the apron, and that was that. But yeah, sorry to Robert, number 4. I was getting a bump on you, and I guess you had just bumped Yeti, and you had kind of come to a stop as I was bumping you. So, oops.
Was that a lot of strategy call tonight, just by riding in the back, waiting for the crashes to kind of fall away, and then you could be there at the end?
Yeah, especially in the start, I think. Up until that second to last caution, I don't know if it maybe second to last, where I kind of just shot through and I cut the 76 off. But yeah, otherwise it was waiting in the back. It's a lot of patience. I mean, it's still not as much of a cluster as NIS though. I mean, in terms of patience, you don't even have to be in the you don't even have to be in the front to get absolutely wrecked in NIS. So
that is very true. And I said it earlier tonight. I said Tyler Lightsey, when he shows up to these races in the OCRP, he's not racing for points here. He's racing for a win, and it showed tonight. You're able to get it done. Wow, what an incredible race. And I'll take it over to you, Joe. If Joe wants to pick up the microphone down there.
Got unplugged again.
Great talk.
Bring it back down here. Get unplugged again. Standing by with Josh Jones, driver of the number 3 Wrangler Jeans Chevrolet. Josh, walk us through that last lap. What was going on, and what were you thinking all throughout that last run?
Man, it just got way too hairy there for a second. It definitely wasn't intentional on that last lap. I was not trying to get into Aaron, and I was just trying to side draft a little bit right there on the front stretch, maybe catch a run on him. But we got too crunched up right there, and I caught his back quarter pound and spun him. I feel so bad about it.
Rubbin is racing, though, as they say. That very last moment when you saw that in front of that, just clean in front of you, did you think that you had the win and you were bringing the Wrangler Chevrolet into victory lane?
For a split second, yeah. It was, I knew I lost a lot of momentum when I made contact with Aaron, and I saw Lightsey. He's been behind me all race pretty much. So, it was a good win, good finish. And again, it's Talladega. Things like that just come with it.
Yeti, give us an outlook real quick for the season finale next week. Kentucky is not a kind racetrack.
No, it is not. I'm going to be practicing a lot all week and getting used to the track because I haven't touched it in a while. And I'm actually going to be pulling out a special truck next week. So looking forward to that.
Yeti the Great finishes second here at Talladega. Let's go back to Jeff.
I'm all good down here. We can go ahead and start the driver's meeting.
Okie dokie. Well, that was fun. That was actually a lot better than I thought it'd be. Could have been better though, but we're making improvements. So, but yeah, well, fuck, I'll start. Man, I thought Wes, we were looking good there for about 40 laps. We were looking really good, and then I don't know, my computer died, and I got caught up in some wrecks. And then we decided to go 4 wide at the end, and not enough real estate apparently. But that's Talladega. I still had a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys. That was a heck of a lot of fun. That's all that matters here. I'm not upset. I had a good time. But we'll go from top down to second place. Yeti, good job, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Yeah. Again, apologies to Aaron. I've already DM'd him. We kind of agreed that was racing, but I can't help but feel bad about it. Otherwise, we had a really good race, other than the one wreck that I caused in the beginning, and it was just kind of nerves in that 3 wide. I'm not really used to that kind of pressure racing, but it was fun. I definitely love plate racing more than road courses or short tracks, but we came out with second place and hope to maybe capitalize on it next week.
Alrighty. Chuck.
Yeah, not much. Just good racing. It was fun. Look forward to next week. Not a lot to say. It's Talladega,
Okay, we'll go to Alex Reno.
Yeah, that was fun. A little crazy, but especially that last lap there. Thought we was gonna have a big wreck, but managed to mostly keep it all together. And yeah, other than some crashes in the beginning there, we got a good green flag few laps in there, and looking forward to next week.
Just trying to fix my mic. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, it is? Fucking
yeah.
Discord.
Yes, much better.
Beaver.
Hey, not much. That was a lot of fun. Sorry for spinning Robert. I know I got into you that one time where it spun you out, so sorry about that. But it was a lot of fun that last few laps running up front and everything, trying to hold on to it. But just one of those deals. But yep, enjoyed it.
Righty, Tyler Lightsey.
Yeah, so I think most of it was caught in that interview, but I don't know how much it's emphasized, but it should be, considering I haven't been here for all but 2 races. It definitely shows the improvement among a lot of the people, especially those from the last series we did. So I mean, I was extremely impressed the whole time. Like I had fun the whole time. I thought it was kind of over for me after we had that penalty under green, but obviously we were able to come back, and Ryan came in and saved the day with the admin perm. But F for Ryan on his connection. Again, sorry to Robert. I definitely feel terrible about Robert on the last lap, and also I said sorry to Tony because of that nose cut. But it was either spin Aaron and then probably wreck the field or cut myself off. So I know you probably got damage from that. But yeah, as for everybody else, like that, all the racers here, especially from the first league and being an observer to that, it's like night and day difference. It's like between rookie and like class B or class A now. And that race was, in my personal opinion, a lot better than the NIS plate races. So, but I don't know if I don't know if that's a very great benchmark to compare it to. But anyways, that's all. Thanks.
Okay, Wes the mess. Quite the mess at the end. Like broken again?
Can't hear you, Wes.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Oh, it's broken. Okay, GG. We'll come back to you. Let us know in chat if you get it back working. Robert K, Bobby K in the delicious popcorn mobile.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got like really good experience at the first half of the race, just being up front and taking restarts. Like I don't get a lot of experience at that, so it was just really cool being able to do that. And all good, Tyler, and all good, Aaron. And also, I'm so sorry to Wes. I must have blanked. I thought I was passing the field as a lucky dog, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, stay behind everybody, and I just panicked. And then obviously I spun and hit you. So I apologize about that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Wish I had a better result, but hey, that's Dega.
Gotcha. Okay. Eric.
It was definitely a fun race. One of my favorite races. I love doing a restrictor plate race. Fortunately, I got into a couple messes, but it was definitely fun running up there with Wes, yourself, Ryan, and pushing Tyler almost half the race. yeah, unfortunately, my spotter didn't talk to me right before I hit Ryan or not Ryan, Alex on that last lap. It was about an inch away from his truck by the time he was like, "Hey, got one inside." It's like, yeah, that's a little bit too late there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to find my spotter and fun race.
Yeah, fire your spotter. Tyler V.
Well, I wasn't happy with the finish, but I mean, granted, I enjoyed it though because is mine now broken again?
No, you're good. That was
okay. Yeah, and this being my second race and somehow winning Gateway, don't know how in the world I managed to do that. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was kind of glad I was able to make it. I wasn't able to run from Daytona all the way to the previous races just because of a bowling league commitment I had that was on Thursdays. So it was fun. I kind of wish I didn't get sideswiped there at the end, but oh well, that's that's racing. But overall, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'll still take third.
On. Tony.
That was a hell of a race this time. Tyler, don't worry about cutting across the nose. Did nothing to the car. Didn't even upset the car. There were actually two guys that did that, and I was so lucky. Didn't affect me either time. What I screwed myself up with is I slid through my pit stall, both pit stops, and then took what felt like 10 minutes to back up and get it in line. But yeah, it was a lot of fun getting down there. I'm telling you, you guys need to go back and watch the replay. Watch from my point of view that last white flag lap, because I was in the middle of every single wreck that happened on that lap, including the spins after the start finish line. So you got to watch that because there was so much going on that lap. It was amazing to watch.
All right, we'll go down to John Borst.
Just Talladega, I guess. Good run. We cleaned it up pretty good in the middle, so that was encouraging. And on to Kentucky, where I can actually use all the pedals again.
Okay, sweet. Any closing remarks from Jeff or Joe?
What we saw tonight was a lot of fun racing. It was a lot of incredible racing among drivers who have a lot of respect for each other. What we thought there'd be some fights down here, but Jeff, I'm surprised we did not see any. Overall, it just made for a very fun racing tonight. That last lap, incredibly fun to watch everyone go down. And Jeff, if tonight's race is anything indicative of what we're going to see next week at Kentucky, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Enjoyed watching everybody tonight. That was so much fun to watch from the booth. And yeah, no, I did catch the guys that missed their pit stalls and were sliding through them and stuff. We caught all that. Very, very proud of Joe and what we've done with the broadcast. It's been a lot of fun. I think that next season we're definitely going to have to change up our graphics because we're living in the 2000s a little bit. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I've got to say, I mean, even watching it from the booth, the racing was better than most of the plate races I've ever been in, doing iRacing in the INIS, like Tyler said. You guys should be very, very proud of being able to hold a line for 3 wide for that long. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, and I even talked about it in the broadcast about how, we see the real guys do it, and they're seasoned professionals at this stuff, and we see a lot of our rookies able to maintain their lanes and do 3 wide racing at Talladega. It was a nonstop show for the fans and the people who were watching, and can't thank you guys enough. You guys absolutely killing it this year.
Yeah, I want to add in as well, especially I do a lot of plate racing myself. So when I went 3 wide a few times, I know Wes for a while. That's why I sorry if I scared anyone, if I all of a sudden was side drafting the heck out of you guys when I was running up there 3 wide by myself. Because I knew the truck could be able to handle it, but I was like, that's why I wanted to say something there, because I knew at one point I was trying to make sure not to hit the wall, but hit you guys at the same time.
No, and that aggressive side drive, I did see it at the very end, and yeah, that's how you were able to just kind of leapfrog your way up towards the front, because there for a while you're just kind of in the middle by yourself.
Yeah. And that was I knew there was like my only advantage if I had a chance to even win like later on. That's why I was hoping to be on the outside line. But yeah, that was something I was kind of surprised that when I forced it 3 wide, how I was expecting me to cause a big one, but I was glad that did not.
All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. As always, what a fantastic pleasure that was watching that race. That was great.
Hey, thanks for broadcasting, you two. It's always like fun. I don't know about these guys, but I always immediately watch the broadcast right after we're done, just to see how you guys saw things. It's a lot of fun. So it's a treat having you guys come out.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys doing the last race?
I'm booked for the last race.
Yep, I'll be there.
All right, cool.
I realized why my microphone wasn't working because I set it to freaking push to talk when we were doing NASCAR Heat 4.
Oh, okay.
Nice going, Wes.
All right, well, Wes.
Awesome.
Yeah, go
Professional.
ahead. Go ahead and say something before we
here.
finish things up so people can hear from the 88 tonight.
All right. Well, I mean, it was fun. Sorry about that. That 4 wide there at the end with Ryan. That completely killed both of our races. But I mean, that was a hell of a lot of fun. Ready to go into Kentucky and wrap this puppy up, and then see what we got for that NASCAR Heat 4 league coming up.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
Yeah. No, all good, Wes. That was fun, man. I had a blast the entire race, and if we went out in a blaze of glory 4 wide, I'll fuck it, whatever. It was fun. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys.
See you.
There you have it, guys. Finishing things up here at Talladega. What a night of racing it was. What an incredible finish. I mean, wow, wow, wow. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week when we go to Kentucky. However, normal streams will resume tomorrow evening. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.